What's up, YouTube? I'm gonna just talk my shit for a second. Then I'm gonna get off of here. I'm gonna just give y'all a little bit of game, then I'm out. A little bit of game, then I'm off here. Just a little bit of game. This gonna help some of y'all too, cause from a space of just being nurtured for a second, from a space of like touching your that little piece of real that you might got in you. Cause some of y'all, you got a little real in you, but you ain't never had nobody touch that shit. So you don't know how to just go with that first. You don't know how to just let me go with what's real. So I'm gonna put y'all up on game real quick. Let me see who on here. I'm gonna lace y'all up real quick. What's up, Saint? I know that's right, Flex. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all this, right? And y'all know I always try to say it simple first. And again, I'm trying to speak to that little bit of real that some of y'all might have in y'all. Now, it is some people y'all ain't got none in y'all. So when you hear this, it's gonna, you know, you gonna hear it, it's gonna bounce off. It ain't gonna stick, right? But that's all right. You stick around long enough, people like me will wake that real shit up out you. Like, we'll put something in you if you ain't got none in you. But for those of y'all that you got a little bit of real in you, I'm gonna speak to the real in you, right? We in a era, we in a time, we in a season with just the culture online, the shit that go on out in the community. And you know, it does depend on, you know, where you at. But for a lot of us, like, unless you in that top 5% or that top 1%, you experiencing shit like this and you run into people like this on a daily basis. But it's people that, bro, you don't know yourself, right? You don't know yourself, so it's a lot of stuff that triggers and don't sit right with you and bothers you and makes you emotional because you don't know you, right? And I'm gonna make it make sense for some of y'all, because I know a lot of y'all, you don't catch on right away, right? But it's a lot of people that you come in contact with that they don't know themselves. And because they don't know themselves, things easily bother them, right? And I'm gonna break it down so it really makes sense. You knowing yourself is some shit that'll bother them. You being confident or certain or even in the moment, just sure that you want to do something, it'll bother them. You maneuvering from a space where you're willing to educate yourself and move on things without needing a peanut gallery or a bunch of motherfuckers supporting you to do it because it's something you want to do, and it'll bother them. You just pouring into yourself, taking care of yourself, it'll bother them. You being a socialite or somebody that people gravitate towards because you're a good person, or you know how to lose it, get it back, or pick yourself up when you fall, it'll bother them. Y'all see where I'm going with this? It's a lot of people that we come in contact with out in the community, on jobs. Some of y'all is family members with them, that they're not sure of themselves. They don't know themselves. This ain't got nothing to do with success or rather a bitch got a lot. This is just psychologically and mentally being familiar with you, right? Getting to know you, being self-aware. Because they don't have that, a lot of shit bothers them, including you just being you. Y'all feel what I'm saying? Somebody said just had to cut somebody off after 5 years for this. Sometimes it can be people you've known your whole life. Like sometimes it can be an auntie, a parent, a sister, a brother, a baby daddy, a baby mama, a homegirl, a homeboy, an associate, a co-worker. Like there are a lot of people in the community that because they don't know themselves, right? Some of y'all living with a motherfucker like this, but because they don't know themselves, there are things about you, stuff that go on that it ain't even about the shit being bad or good. It bothers them simply because they are not self-aware. Y'all understand what I'm saying before I go any deeper? Some of y'all, you hate it for just being yourself. You ain't even where you want to be. But a bitch don't fuck with you. A motherfucker is bothered by you. A bitch always got something to say about you. You know, somebody always looking to discredit what you got going on. Not because you showboat in a, you know, it's any business of theirs, but it's just the fact that you out here in a bitch presence and you're sure of yourself. You're aware of yourself. You know what you want for yourself. You moving on what you feel like you need. Sometimes you maneuvering and you're not even certain about what you're doing in this season, but you doing it with such confidence and you moving on it in such a way where it's like, this is what I want to do and I know it. Even though, like, I don't know exactly how this going to play out, but I got enough information that I notice in this moment, this is what I want to do, and it's bothering motherfuckers. The reason why you got to understand this is because for a lot of y'all, you don't realize that drama and people around me distract me because they got this going on. Meaning I perceive certain things as a beef or a problem because of how the other person acting, but it really ain't no beef or no problem. Not because I'm beefing, but because they really got internal conflict about how they themselves don't feel right when I'm around, when I'm doing what I'm doing, when I'm just being me. Y'all understand what I'm saying? I'm going to go deeper, but this is just surface level. I'm just speaking to that little bit of real in some of y'all. Some of y'all gotta really stop and just think about this. Cause some of y'all, it's your family members. It's your family members. It's the motherfucker you live with. It's the person you sitting up under. It's the person you talking to every day. You find yourself, it started off as like little disagreements or debates. You know, we going back and forth. He's saying this, I'm saying this. She's saying this, she's saying she prefer this, I'm saying I prefer. That's how it started off, right? But then that shit turned into a little bit too many debates. And the debates turn into arguments. And after a while, you realize, hold on, a motherfucker just disagreeing just to disagree. Like it's stuff that this ain't even some shit we need to be going back and forth on, but we find ourselves going back and forth, right? And so now you starting to realize, like, wait a minute, I don't know if me and my dog or me and my peoples or me and my family member or me and my coworker is like, did I miss something? Is we don't like each other no more? Because that's what it feel like. But in all reality, it's shit about you, your presence, the way you moving, certain stuff about your life. And sometimes you could be around these people for a long time before it get like this. It be them seasons where you really start to pour into yourself. A lot of y'all that follow me, this been going on with you because you just been taking care of you. See, when you wasn't taking care of yourself, when you ain't had no boundaries, when you wasn't in no space where you was moving on things with a little bit of certainty and confidence in that moment that I'm going to do this regardless of how it turned out or what it's going to be in the end, I'm willing to stand on business. Like you weren't like this at first. So now you changing and you getting like this and it's bothering motherfuckers because they ain't sure of themselves. So them debates, they start to happen too often. And when you look up, you realize, God damn, we going back and forth about some of everything. Stuff that don't even matter. Shit that it's like, wait a minute, like why is we even arguing about this? And then the shit get a little deeper every time you bicker or you debate a little bit more to where now stuff getting said that you like, hold on. Like they ain't even have nothing to do with what we was actually talking about. And bruh said this about me. Or she done fucked around and said some shit that like, this over with, and the shit we was going back and forth on, it ain't even matter, but it's certain shit you said when we going back and forth that this shit sitting on me, cause bruh, how long you been feeling like that? Like how long you been thinking, I know everything. Or how long you been thinking like, can't nobody tell me nothing? Or how long you been thinking I think I'm better than you? Or how long you been thinking like, I ain't supposed to have certain shit that I got? How long you been thinking this? Like this you talking to yourself like, damn, like I'm saying we went from just going back and forth about the election or talking about some shit with some religion or even talking about some shit we seen on social media on a podcast, and this shit done turned into like insults or kind of like underhanded, like now you going into like shots at my character, but I ain't did shit to you. Like we ain't really been through nothing for us to have this type of animosity, even if we did get loud and cuss a little bit, right? All right. It's a lot of people in families and in communities that they don't know themselves. They're not sure about what they got going on or where they're going with their life or why they feel the way they feel in certain moments. They ain't got control over their emotions. They can't manage them bitches. And so when you come in talking about what you finna do or stating certain stuff, you ain't even got to break your goal down, but it's just the fact that you finna do some shit that you unwilling to explain all the details to them. Now they offended. Now it's a problem. Now you acting funny. Yeah, it be random beefs out of nowhere. And see, it ain't a real beef, but it feel like one because the things they saying, the stuff that's coming out when shit get heated, it's showing you they beefing, right? And then when you sit back and think about it, what I'm saying is you ain't really got no beef with me because I ain't did shit to you, but be myself when I'm around. And apparently that's bothering you so much that now certain things coming out that you don't even realize you said this shit. Because now watch this, right? When I get ready to have a conversation with your ass about this shit, some of this stuff you said, you don't even realize you said it. Some of the stuff you done told about how you feeling, right? You don't even realize you told the shit. You thought we were just arguing about politics or going back and forth about a concept or an idea or a perspective off of a podcast. But you done said some shit that led me to believe that, hold on, like, you ain't really solid with me no more. And it's okay. I just ain't know you felt like this. Y'all can relate. Who understand what I'm saying? Don't worry, I'm going deeper. I'm just trying to make sure y'all keeping up. Somebody said, yes, I got asked if we had a beef, and I was shocked. I had no idea. I'm telling y'all, it's people that they don't know themselves. They ain't got no direction on where they going right now with their life. Probably got some traumas unresolved that they not seeing about. And so when you come around them, walking the way you do, talking the way you do, just being you. This ain't shit about no money. If you notice, I ain't talking about no material shit. I ain't talking about what you got, what you drive, where you live at. I'm saying your aura, your energy. It just bother a bitch because you in this motherfucker so certain or so confident in this moment. I'm going to tell y'all some more real shit on this same topic, in this same realm. It's a lot of y'all, you ain't wearing what you going through openly enough for a motherfucker. So they bothered that, man, I know she ain't got no money right now. That bitch ain't even got no job right now. And she trying to act like everything's straight. Like they bothered that you ain't acting like what you going through. You ain't showing or you ain't being defined in the moment. Your happiness, your ability to come out and have a good time, it ain't hindered or affected by what they know about you. This your dog now. They know you ain't got the bill money, or they know you in between jobs, or they know like your car broke down right now. You had to catch a ride to this event, and it bothers them that you hear people fucking with you. You out and about still being able to enjoy life while trying to fix the shit that you got going on. You ain't wearing that shit on you, and she thinks she all that. Man, that nigga think bro, y'all don't even know that nigga don't even got this going on. I know the nigga lost this much at the casino last week. He ain't got no bread. Like, and the fact that you ain't walking around with your head down, right? You ain't walking around with this being the front running thing that you talk about. They got a problem with that. They got a problem with you. How dare you smile while you got that shit going on? Oh, she thinks she's straight. And her man, she just found out her man was doing X, Y, and Z. Who can relate? Definitely boxed you in. Definitely boxed you in. Exactly. Exactly, mode or culture. Exactly. They expect for you to be somewhere in the corner, curled up, tucking your tail, not out here getting at it because of what they know you done been through or because of what they know you got going on. Because sometimes you might be going through some shit right now. And the people around you know what you got going on. They feel like you supposed to be behaving or talking or thinking a certain way. Because that's how they was when they was going through their shit. It do. Sometimes it be the very motherfucker you laying next to. You 100% correct. This is what you got to understand. For some people, it's a problem because they don't know themselves. So regardless of whether you up, down, feeling some type of way or not feeling some type of way, your energy, your confidence, your ability to just be self-aware and manage and govern you, right? It bothers them. It creates a space where y'all ain't getting along. All because you wearing your shit differently than they feel like you should wear it. So now let me break it down like this, right? When you don't understand that this type of shit is going on, you will find yourself surrounded by motherfuckers that don't really fuck with you. But you would think they do based on y'all history or based on y'all just being tied in with bills or being related. You won't realize that you being distracted and you really got more shit that you supposed to be taking care of, more rooms that you supposed to be in, more blessings that's supposed to be already on you, right? But you can't get to them because you too busy going back and forth with these motherfuckers every day explaining yourself. And some of y'all don't even realize you explaining yourself, but you explaining yourself. It's disguised as a good debate or argument or 30 minutes to 45 minutes on the phone or sitting up sharing a drink or a joint. And before you know it, you done passed the time going back and forth. A lot of shit was said, but none one really said. Definitely. Who can relate? Because I know y'all know what I'm talking about. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. You will find, this is the thing though, this type of shit, if you're not aware that this go on, you won't even realize you in the midst of this. You won't even realize that, like, I got people around me, and although we share certain common interests, they really don't like my energy or my presence. That's why they always disagreeing, debating with me, or going back and forth about certain shit, or even questioning what I got going on. I'm telling you, it started out with them innocent, you know, we going back and forth. That shit start turning into arguments and shit like that. And before you know it, you look around like, damn, it's like me and so-and-so been at it lately. Now, I'm going to tell you what come next. Them subliminal posts. Them subliminal, because see, it always start out what seems to be innocent, or, you know, this just my dog, this how we do, or this just me and baby going back and forth. Like, you know, we just view stuff different on a lot of shit. Next thing you know, here come the social media posts. And of course, when you ask the person about it, no, that wasn't about you. I just was, I mean, it do say post what you feel or what's on your mind. I was just, all right. But I'm knowing, bruh, you ain't going back and forth with nobody else like you going back and forth with me on this same shit. So I look up, now it's coming down my feed where you asking the community, you asking motherfuckers that ain't even in our circle, was you right or was you wrong? I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Then if you, this the thing, some of y'all don't even realize if you say something about it, now they done took what you said or you asking them to keep it 100 with you. And this for the people that got that little bit of real in them. I'm speaking to y'all, because a lot of y'all on here, you gonna act like the shit ain't going on at all, right? But when you ask them about it, hey, bro, you that post you made, you was talking about that shit we was talking about the other day. And I'm just saying, like, bro, if you felt like I tried you or I wasn't, you know what I'm saying, seeing your perspective, you could have just told me that, man, nah, that shit ain't, see how you acting like you taking the shit too serious. I'm just putting it out there on social media, just seeing what other downplaying it, right? Now, after you asked them about it, that right there, you asking them about it, finna turn it up into something bigger. Man, damn, dog, you can't even post shit nowadays. A motherfucker think you talking about them. But bro, I ain't dumb. I'm knowing you talking about what the fuck we was just talking about. But you gonna play like you ain't. Now watch how this becomes a distraction, right? If this somebody you fuck with every day or somebody you care about, right? And they playing it like this. Now they talking to other people, making it seem like you got emotional or you got a problem with them just posting on social media, or you being tender about what they put on their page, right? You trying to control them. Now it done turned into like some sort of thing where you not defending yourself, right? You going around trying to clarify, you on social media amongst the people that know y'all, you trying to, all right, some of y'all know where it's going from there. Y'all know where it's going from there. It turned into a distraction. And then now watch this, right? Originally, as the person doing this bullshit, I was bothered by your confidence. I was bothered by the fact that you so secure and aware of what you doing with yourself or what you got going on. Even if you don't got it all figured out, it bothered me because I don't know self, right? So now when I see that this gets you off track, I'm going to do this shit over and over and over and over again. And before you know it, it becomes draining. It becomes draining. But see, I wasn't doing shit with myself anyway. I wasn't making plays and pouring into myself and, you know, working on certain shit. So for me, this ain't doing nothing. But for you, I got you distracted. For you, I got you over here in left field going back and forth with me about a social media post. When at first, you was working on some shit. You was locked in on certain things that bothered me. Now I got your ass over here distracted. Some of y'all don't realize this going on. Now let me say this, right? To break it down even further. When you fuck with people that can't manage their emotions, when you fuck with people that they don't have self-awareness enough to know that what I feel and what's really going on is two different things, you'll find yourself in all kind of fake beefs, fake back and forths. You will find yourself in conversations, debates. You will find yourself in arguments, in drama, in shit online and offline that don't got nothing to do with nothing that actually matters. When you around people that they cannot accept the reality, they have not been raised to accept the reality, they don't have the belief, right? That there is what is really going on and there is what you feel. When they don't know how to separate that, boy, you in for a wild ride. You in for a wild ride. This is why I talk so much online all the time about management of emotions. Because this shit start with you don't know how to separate what you feel from reality. So when you get around certain people, because you feel some type of way that they got certain things figured out that you don't, you behave and act as though things are being done to you and they not. You become disagreeable. Like you become that person that you're high conflict, right? You one of them people that it's like you go against the grain on purpose. And you ain't even trying to be this type of person. But because you can't separate what you feel from what's really going on, anything that make you feel some type of way, right? You react and maneuver and start responding as if somebody actually doing something to you, but ain't shit happening to you. You just feel some type of way because you're not self-aware enough or you wasn't taught how the world really works. Do y'all understand what I'm explaining? It's a lot of people, bruh. This is why it's hard to be in a relationship with them. This is why it's hard to be friends with them. This is why it's difficult to build with them. This is why it's hard to start a business with them. This is why it's difficult to actually go out and have a good time, plan a trip and go out of town. Because anything that makes them feel some type of way, and it starts with their low self-esteem, their lack of self-awareness, their inability to make decisions and stand on it regardless of what the consequences will be, the fear from childhood trauma or from their lack of planning or not educating themselves as an adult, right? They don't know how to just go out and be all right with the way the world works, which is that I'm allowed to do what the fuck I want to do, feel how I want to feel, say what I want to say, right? Even if you don't agree, even if you feel uncomfortable while I'm doing me. Some of y'all don't realize you surrounded by people like this. I'm gonna tell you this, right? I'm gonna answer your question in a way where it really clicked, right? So she said, do we just leave these type of people where they at? You ain't got to. You ain't got to, right? But you know how they say not making a change is actually making a change? Meaning like not making a decision is actually making a decision. So like, when I realize that you one of these people, you care more about how you feel than the reality of things, right? I ain't got to change nothing about how we interact, and that's going to change a lot about how we interact. Meaning I can keep you around, I can still fuck with you, I can go back and forth, and it's going to change a lot because over time, right, I'm going to start to see more and more of this. I'm going to start to see more and more that you care more about what the fuck you feel than what's really going on. And see, what time will show you is that people passing your ass the fuck by, and life is passing you by as well. And you sitting up with a motherfucker that y'all been going around in a circle, you trying to support their feelings more than you trying to support real life. And for a lot of y'all, 2-3 years later, 5 to 10 years later, you realize you wasting the most valuable thing you have, which is time. So now you ain't got to leave them where they at. You can keep them right around you, and you gonna stay where they at. I'm telling y'all, when you meet people, this is one of the #1 things to pay attention to. For a lot of y'all, like, they take my Zooms and things like that, and you try to figure out how to choose better, right? And I ain't just talking about relationships. I'm talking about friendships as well. When you trying to figure out, like, how do I pick a better partner? You know how they say to a lot of women, because I've said it, like, y'all picking wrong. To a lot of niggas, y'all looking at the aesthetics rather than, like, what a bitch got up here and in here, right? One of the #1 ways nowadays, especially with our culture, the way people coming from these single parent households where they being raised by mostly women, and you coming out with the emotional capacity and the ability to only view things from the perspective of a female, everybody walking around worrying about how they feel about shit rather than how things really go, rather than the facts of shit. And so when you're trying to pick somebody that's valuable, somebody that it's worth building with, somebody that it's worth going through some shit with, somebody that it's worth spending some time trying to figure each other out, you got to look at their ability to separate what they feel from what the fuck is really going on. You got to look at how self-aware they are. Some of y'all in relationships with people, this going to be deep, right? Some of y'all in relationships with people, and your biggest struggle in that relationship, your biggest issue with them, it ain't the lying, it ain't the cheating, it ain't the arguing. It's the fact that they are unaware of the shit they do. They are unaware of the shit they do. Now I'm finna break this shit down so deep. Watch this. They are unaware of the shit they do. And this is the biggest problem, right? Now let me say it to you like this. A lot of them were raised by people that they mama or they daddy, they grandma, they auntie, the person that raised them never owned they shit, right? And they did the whole unaware of what the fuck they doing. So it's certain childhood traumas, it's certain experiences they had in their young adult years and in their childhood that the people that raised them is unwilling to be accountable for, right? So now peep this, right? If I was raised by motherfuckers that the things I experienced, right? Adverse experiences and stuff that I went through that hurt me, stuff that affected me in a negative or an adverse way, no one is willing to acknowledge, take accountability, apologize for any of that. I grow up already reared from a space of not giving a fuck about being aware of what the fuck I be doing. So some of y'all be saying people know what they be doing, but they really don't. They really don't. When you understand psychology to the extent that I do, people will suppress certain things about them to where they conditioned or programmed or were raised to not look at how the fuck they really behaving. They're unaware of the effect they create. And see, y'all think they narcissists. Y'all be done learned that narcissist word off the internet. And so that's what y'all call everybody that operates like this. But some people, they ain't no fucking narcissists. A lot of y'all, you ain't never even picked up the DSM-5 to know what the fuck it mean to diagnose somebody as a narcissist. You just saying that shit because you heard it on the fucking internet or on a podcast, right? But really, these people was raised by motherfuckers that were never accountable for anything. They don't know what it feels like to get a genuine apology or for mama or daddy to come home and be aware of the effect that they created on the family unit. And so because of that, they grow up and you in a relationship with them and they unaware of a lot of shit that they destroying. They unaware of how bad they hurt you. They unaware of what certain shit they say out their mouth do. They are very much unaware. They ain't as smart as what y'all think. You're giving them too much credit. See, when you go to calling a motherfucker a narcissist, you basically saying they know what the fuck they doing and they calculate it and they doing it on purpose from a self-absorbed space. These people be unfucking aware because they was raised wrong. And the problem is you keep trying to have surface level conversations about what the fuck they did, but they don't even know the extent, the depth of what the fuck they did. It's a lot of y'all, you trying to get a nigga to understand what he did to you and them kids when he left or when he cheated or when he lied. But this nigga was raised to be unaware, to overlook, to not see, to not be able to identify the trauma he causing. Because a bitch ain't never identified, apologized, acknowledged, opened their eyes to none of the shit they did to him. So a motherfucker doing what they was raised to do, what they was taught. A lot of y'all, when you get in the Bible, I hear y'all saying, train up a child in the way they should go, right? And when they older, they won't depart from it. If a nigga was trained up, right, to never be accountable, nigga never heard his mama apologize, never had a bitch acknowledge that, hey, I had niggas coming out of here left and right around y'all. Hey, we kept having more kids knowing we ain't have enough money to take care of you and your older brother. And we kept having more, which put us into more and more poverty. I just did the best I could. I don't see why y'all complaining. I ain't did nothing wrong. Y'all ungrateful. Motherfucker raised by somebody that got them reared and programmed to be unaware of what the fuck they doing, and you around here trying to make a nigga aware of all the things that he's doing to you. Ma'am, get up out of there. Get up out of there. Get the fuck up out of there. Get up out of there. It ain't finna work. Them people wasn't raised to even view shit like that. Get up out of there. Do y'all understand what I'm explaining? This the same goes for females. Some of y'all niggas, bro, you with a bitch, you trying to get her to understand the damage she doing by keeping your kids away. You trying to get her to understand the extent to which it hurt or the extent to which, you know, it bothered you that, you know, when you got fucked up, a bitch left you at this particular point. You trying to get a bitch to understand what talking to you, the way she talking to you is doing to y'all relationship and how you viewing her different. Man, that girl wasn't raised to see that shit. You think she know what she doing? She aware? Man, these bitches be knowing love. She know what she, nah. That girl wasn't raised where she ever seen her mama or no other female in her family mind their mouth or be held accountable or take responsibility for who the fuck they ran off with their wicked words. A bitch around here just raised believing you a man. He ain't supposed to do nothing to you. Words ain't supposed to hurt you. She ain't aware like you think she is, bro. And you keep sitting up trying to have them surface level conversations to get a bitch to realize certain things, but she wasn't raised like that. She wasn't raised like that. Some of y'all, this is what you going through right now. Right now, this is what you going through. You with somebody, you swear. They know it. Man, them people don't know. They don't know because they've been programmed, raised, reared, and conditioned to not be self-aware. When you raised by somebody that when you look back at your childhood, you can't even have a conversation, which is a lot of y'all. It's a lot of us where you can't even sit down with your mama and bring up certain shit that she did. You can't, or you gonna get your ass cussed out, or she gonna say you being disrespectful, or she gonna act like, you know, what you saying ain't true. And then you're going to be even hurt more. So guess what? You just don't even try to have a conversation because you already knowing. Now, you don't realize, like, even though you have something in you, that inner child wants to confront and be validated with your feelings and what you went through, what you had to endure because of the choices of the adults when you was getting raised. But at the same time, you ain't even built for that type of accountability. So now you an adult, you in a relationship, you don't even know how to sit down and have conversations about shit you did. I'm trying to see who understand what the fuck I'm saying. Some of y'all don't even realize how deep it is. It's a lot of people, they don't know how to be self-aware. They don't know how to be accountable. They've never seen it. And so when you sit up and you say, he know what he be doing, no, they don't. No, they don't. No, they do not. I'm here to tell y'all, no, they do not. Never seen it. Never seen it. Some of y'all right now, you got experiences that you had as a child that you know, you remember, it's vivid, you can smell it, you can taste it. But if you went to your mama or your daddy and brought it up, they gonna say you lying, that it didn't happen. Why is you bringing this up? You trying to cause problems. You fucking with them. You need to be grateful. And when you raise with that kind of non-accountability, you grow up and it becomes a problem when you in a relationship and someone is just trying to get you to confront what you fucked up on earlier today. It'll bother you. Some of y'all done ended up with people that because they can't do this and you can, they don't like you anymore. And y'all know what I always say. Love will make you tolerate shit. But rather somebody like you or not is going to determine how they treat you. See, y'all wasn't taught this growing up. I'm going to re-raise you on this motherfucker. Love will make you go through some fucked up shit and stick it out with people easily. In the name of love, motherfuckers will tolerate, endure, get beat, all kind of shit, right? Rather a bitch like you or not, that shit be determining how they treat you. So a lot of y'all, you don't realize, like, I done been in this energy of being accountable, of speaking up about the things I don't like, setting boundaries. Let's talk about stuff, babe. Let's resolve it. Let's not let it sit. And that person wasn't raised or reared like that. So guess what? They don't even fucking like you no more. So let me answer your question you got for them as to why they acting like that with you. Some of y'all, you done text a motherfucker today. Why you acting like that? I'm saying, why you ain't texting back? I'm saying, why you hung up like that? I'm finna tell you why. They don't like you no more. They don't like you no more. It ain't got nothing to do with love. They don't like you anymore. Rather a bitch like you or not determines how they gonna treat your ass. When we like somebody, right? We're pleasant. We act a certain way with our social skills. When we're interacting with them, when we're around them. Love will make you sit up around a bitch you don't fuck with at all. In the name of love, like, I don't agree with what this nigga doing, but I love him though, so I'm here. Rather you're polite to them, rather you talk to them with respect, rather you handle them a certain way, that's like. And I'm telling y'all, some of y'all, you getting handled the way you getting handled because the motherfucker don't like you no more. And the reason why they don't like you, it ain't because you directly did something to them, but you're more self-aware. You're being more accountable. You're more on this, let's confront and talk and communicate. And they wasn't raised like that. And see, you think, oh, they're narcissistic and they know what they doing. And no, they don't. They were raised to not know what they doing. It's motherfuckers, the way that their parents raised them, it was in a way that it has beliefs that I ain't even supposed to be giving a fuck about what I said earlier because I was mad. And I'm saying, I'm saying, how you gonna hold against me what the fuck I said when I was mad? Like, bro, I'm just saying, why you keep wanting to talk about that shit? Bitch, you know you had done pissed me off. That's why the fuck I was talking to you. Like, that's why I said what I said. If a motherfucker mad, bitch, I'm mad. What the fuck? That mean, bruh, I don't agree with what you talking about. I don't understand why you asking me about this. I was mad. You should just let it go. Bitch, just let it go. Just let it go. I know I called you a stupid, dumb bitch. Nigga, I know I called you a puss asshole or a puss ass nigga. That don't matter though. I was mad. You knew I was mad. We was going back and forth. It was an argument. I don't understand why you bringing this up. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Because a lot of y'all right now today, you done asked the bitch. I'm saying, why you treat me like that? Why? Because they don't like you. They don't like you. They don't even realize it's because they don't like you. Your awareness, this shit you doing where you trying to be accountable and talk about stuff. Hey, bitch, the way I was raised, that's not what we did. When my mama fucked up, she'd come in the room and say, hey, I fucked up. I overspent. This why the lights was off. Or, hey, I messed up. That man I had around, he wasn't supposed to be around. It's on me that you got molested or touched on or raped or violated. Hey, that's my fault. I picked the wrong guy. I had you off a one night stand. And this is why we in a situation you ain't never had. My mama ain't never did that. So when you come in this house trying to let's talk about things. And as soon as you get to talking that stuff uncomfortable, hey, I was raised that when shit get uncomfortable, you get up out of there. You can't even say I'm aware, because my brain, my coping mechanism for uncomfortableness is to shut that shit off. I shut it off. I go straight into my feelings. Hey, this making me feel some type of way. I don't want to talk about this shit. I ain't trying to hear this shit right now. And you on this bitch talking about some narcissism and I loved bombed you and I'm fucking doing things. You, hey, bitch, I'm just being myself. You keep wanting to talk about this shit. This shit uncomfortable. Fuck is you doing? I know y'all know what I'm talking about. It's a lot of y'all, you ain't realizing this is what's going on. You in a relationship, you tied in a family situation with a motherfucker that this is what's going on. You swear them people know what they doing to you, and they don't. They don't. They do not. It ain't even about whether it's a relationship or not. Some of y'all don't realize a bitch don't like you no more. You own they nerves. I'ma say it in the most ghetto. You own they bitch, you on my nerves. You're getting on my motherfucking nerves. You getting on my nerves because guess what? You own too much self-awareness. I don't even know myself well enough to be sitting up here talking about this serious ass shit with you. It's stressing me out because the more you speak on it, the more I feel some type of way. The more I feel some type of way, remember, my feelings matter more than fact and reality. So the more I feel some type of way, the more it makes me think you doing something to me. So now I'm reacting like you doing something to me. Even though you ain't did shit to me. Who understand what I'm saying? Because I'm telling y'all, this is a lot of y'all problem. This is the problem. Either it's with you or with the person you in a relationship with, somebody you friends with, family members. But listen, it makes so much sense to them. It makes so much sense to them. So much sense to them. This is why when y'all be around people and you letting them in and they got access to vulnerable parts of you, you have to get an understanding of how they raised. That's why you always hear me talk about upbringing. That's why you always hear me talk about upbringing. You don't just turn away from things that was exposed to you repeatedly in your childhood. Even while you verbally saying, I don't want to be like that. You don't just turn away from that. That shit requires real focus and the ability to actually change your habitual behaviors by reconditioning yourself, shifting your paradigms, unlearning and relearning. And most people ain't on that shit. They not even aware. I want you to really understand what I'm saying. I'm on here talking about self-awareness, right? And I'm speaking on how when a person is not self-aware, when they are not confident, when they don't have their self-esteem up to a certain level, your presence and certain shit you trying to do, even when you on their side and you trying to build with them, it will bother them. So the reason why they won't just say this, because they don't even realize this is what's going on. Motherfuckers that's just bothered by your energy. Meaning you come over, you start talking about, yeah, girl, I'm working on my credit. And bitch, at my job, they was talking about giving me a raise. And so I'm going to take that money and invest it. I had seen a video on YouTube about stocks. And I'm following Aristotle and a few people that's teaching investing. I think I'm going to get in a real estate class too, so when I really get my money going, I'm going to invest in. The fact that you even confident in saying that these are things you willing to look at, that shit bother them people. They don't know why. They don't know why. To be able to tell you, hey, earlier when you were speaking on the things that you wanted to do, it sounded so mature and way more than what I could even see myself doing that it bothered me. And so because I'm unaware of how to have that confidence within myself and look into things for myself, I got bothered by you. And that's why I'm upset with you. They not that fucking intelligent. They're not that self-aware. They don't know that much about the human psyche to articulate this shit to you. So you got to be able to realize when the people around you is in their feelings more than they in reality. That's on you. It's your job to pick the right people that you have in your life, that you have around you, that you have involved around your kids, knowing about your business, your bills, your vulnerable spaces. It's your job to know whether a motherfucker is all about feelings or if they really about facts and the way the world works. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? It's a lot of people, y'all don't exactly can't communicate. But it ain't because I don't have the ability to. The way that I was raised, it doesn't seem necessary to be talking about all that serious shit, bitch, that you keep trying to talk about. You keep wanting to discuss what I meant by what I said earlier, and I don't even remember that I said that, bitch. I was just mad. And that's what we do in my family. When we get mad, we call each other names, we yell at each other, we say stuff that we don't even take accountability for, because later on, we never talk about it, because my mama never talked about it. One time, I got a whooping and cussed out about some shit I didn't even do it. Even when mama found out that she was wrong and that I shouldn't have got a whooping because I didn't do it, she never apologized. She never came back and discussed it. What she did was she came in the room and asked me that I want something from the stove. She came in the room and asked me, was I ready to eat? Was I hungry? That's how we made up. We never actually confronted shit. My mama never explained why she did certain stuff. When me and my siblings got into it, she never once sat us down and said, hey, let's get to the bottom of why this happened earlier. Or, hey, you need to look at what you did to your brother and really think about it and apologize if it hurt him. She never did that. So now we grown, I'm in a relationship with you, and bitch, you keep wanting me to apologize for certain shit. Nigga, you keep wanting me to explain why I said. So I was just mad. Mad, bitch, you made me feel some type of way. And the way I was raised, when a motherfucker make you feel some type of way, you go in on that bitch ass. Straight the fuck up. I don't know how. Y'all be in relationships, friendships, tied up around, hanging out with people that they don't know how. And when you frustrated and you can't understand it, y'all start saying these people love bombed y'all and, oh, they're narcissists and they're manipulating me. Bitch, you manipulating yourself. Because those of us that understand that people are raised different and how you operate as an adult very much ties directly back to your childhood, things that you're passionate about, stuff that you're good at, stuff that you ain't good at. There is a other side to the coin, right? That makes the numbers add up as to why you are the way you are. So when we look at people, we very much care to get to know them before just letting them into our life. You manipulating your damn self. And some of y'all, yes, Cyrus, some of y'all, this is helping you realize your own ignorance to a lot of shit. Thank you, Love Jones. Like, subscribe, share, tell a friend that lady live on YouTube talking that real shit. Manipulating your own self. You fucking right. And see, the beauty of this is when you realize this, the way that you fix it is you start being honest with yourself, right? About who the fuck you got around you. Stop lying to yourself about who you laid up with. Stop lying to yourself about who you friends with. Y'all be giving people more credit than what they deserve. And it ain't about taking nothing from them. It's about telling yourself the truth. So I ain't saying this for you to go tell them what they is or what they ain't, right? This is for you to be honest with yourself that as I look at bruh for what he is, as I look at sis for what she is, as I look at bae for what he or she is, right? As I look at my mama, my family members for what they really are, what they show me in their behavior, what's the reality of how they think, right? Based on where they come from and how they raised. As I look at this, I set boundaries and set new standards for myself to be able to be all that I can be while existing with them. And if I can't exist around you, right, and be everything that I need to be for myself while having you around, I can't have you around. Straight up. It don't matter how many times we done fell out and made back up. It don't matter how long we've been around each other. It's a thin line between loyalty and stupidity. It's a thin line between spending time and building and wasting your fucking time when that ship has sailed. And a lot of y'all, you don't realize, you just keep talking about the years you got in. Sometimes that's the very reason why it's time to cut ties. Some of y'all don't realize, and it's going to be a word for y'all. The very reason why it's time to cut ties is because of the amount of time that you spent around this person and y'all ain't got no understanding yet. The 5 years, the 8 years, the 10 years, the 15 years. That's the reason why it's time to let go. Because for 5 years, 10 years, 8 years, 15 years, y'all been bullshitting. Y'all ain't built shit. Y'all been bickering and arguing. Y'all been making up and breaking. Y'all been unfocused. Y'all been lying to each other. Y'all been cheating. Y'all been hiding. Y'all been subliminally posting. Y'all ain't been raising them kids right. You ain't been seeing about yourself. Y'all ain't been looking out for one another. Because you've been doing that shit wrong for that long, that's the reason why it's time to let go. Some of y'all, that reason why you saying you staying is the very reason why you need to leave. I've been with him for 10 years. The fact that you've been with him for 10 years ain't no marriage, no real commitment, no understanding, no building of wealth, no rearing of the children in a direction where they can thrive past where y'all at. That's exactly why it's time to walk the fuck away. The fact that you've been with her, bruh, for 5 years, and the only thing that we've seen improve is a bitch looks. She still talk to you crazy. You still back and forth, down and out, getting left, coming back, getting put out. That's the reason why you need to go somewhere the fuck else on your own. Not because a bitch told you to, but because as a man, you decided it's time for me to build for myself somewhere else. You don't get time back. You can fuck up a bag and make it back. You can wreck a car and get another one. You can fuck your credit up and get a bitch to repair it. Fuck it up and repair it again. You can lose a job and go get another one. You can go to jail, get out, rebuild your life, all while being a felon. You can do that. You can lose your rights and get them bitches restored. Some of it gonna take more work. Some of it is more stressful than others. But you can't get no time back. That's why when you break the law and you fuck up, what they take from you, time. Time. And when you locked up, right? When you fucking up while you locked up, what they do? Isolate you, because isolation is not healthy for the mind. That's why they lock you the fuck up. It's a punishment to isolate. A lot of y'all free and you don't realize this. So you isolate yourself while you're free, punishing yourself in this life, and you don't realize there is value in beauty and resources and knowing people and being able to pick right, pouring into yourself, building, being a part of a community, finding your tribe, building a family. Message. Some of y'all needed to hear this because you've been seeing it, but you ain't been able to put the words with what you're seeing. And I'm painting that picture and writing them words up under it. See, when you go to a museum and you see a piece of art or a painting or a sculpture on the wall or on display, right? Without a writing, a set of words that describes what the artist or the creator of this piece was thinking and what it means, right? It's subjective. It's up to the person that's viewing them to decide what it is and what it ain't. What I'm doing on this motherfucker is making it where I'm taking that picture and I'm putting them words with it so you know exactly what the fuck it is. I'm speaking to that little bit of real that some of y'all got in you. Some of y'all don't got it. But for those of y'all that do, we should be here now. A lot of y'all, that's the problem. You looking at so much shit and defining nothing. You talking about a lot of shit with a lot of people, but ain't getting the understanding on nothing. You seeing a lot of shit, but you ain't processing and unpacking that shit. It's important that y'all honest with y'all self. There are people that they are not self-aware. They do not understand certain things about themselves. They are not aware of the effect that they create. And so what happens is when you're trying to have conversations about the damage that was done, the shit they did, the things they said, and the way that it cut deep or didn't, the way that it mattered or didn't matter, they're not aware enough. They're not in present time. They're not out of their feelings enough to talk to you about that, to address that, to get an understanding. And because you keep pushing the issue, they don't like you anymore. Y'all could be in love and all, be fucking raw and all, have kids and all, come from the same mama and all. What I'm telling you is what I'm telling you, and it's law when this shit is going on. When a motherfucker is not aware of the effect they create, the shit that they actions and they words is doing, you can talk till you blue in the face, that shit not finna do nothing. And I'm gonna tell you this, right? To go even deeper, to open your mind up a little bit more. When a motherfucker is in their feelings, they are not in their intelligence. You cannot be in both at the same time. When you in your feelings, right? You tapped into a different energy into a different part of your mind, into a creative space that you cannot be in information and in facts at the same time. In psychology, it's understood that the human mind, outside of the mind, you can differentiate. But in the human mind, right? Once you start getting consumed with feelings, the mind cannot tell the difference between something that's actually happening to you and something that is perceived to be happening through emotions, because it feels the same. You can't be in your feelings and in intelligence at the same time. No, you cannot. And so if you understand what I'm explaining, people that be around y'all are those y'all that you always in your feelings. You always talk about how a bitch made you feel. You feel some type of way, right? We knowing that your ass ain't thinking the majority of the time. You are not weighing out the facts and looking at the information and being realistic, because you cannot be in your feelings and in that shit at the same time. Can you come down off your feelings and then process things and then go into a situation of looking at my intellect? Let me look at what I know. Let me look at what I understand. Let me look at what the way the world works and what. Yes, you can do that, but you can't be in both at the same time. That's why a lot of y'all, after certain shit be done happen, you don't want to go back and address it or sort through it because you're embarrassed. You're embarrassed. You feel shame. You feel guilt. That small child inside of you starts to become present. And so now you don't want to hear certain shit. You start to operate like a kid. I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to be over here. I'm finna go, man. Man, I'm finna go. I don't want to hear this shit. Like a child. When they mama chastising them about cleaning their room, you don't want to hear that shit. Like a kid who ain't did their homework and they in here on the video game. You don't want to hear it. Got to get up out of there. This is why I be, really kicking game to the younger generation, because a lot of us, we made babies with people like this, that they so deep in, they 40 years in, 35 years in, 37 years in, 50 years in, 60 years in, 27 years in this shit, to where it's going to take some deep unlearning and relearning for them to change. So we already knowing, bro, I'm finna be dealing with this shit until our kids turn 18. I'm finna be co-parenting with a fucking child until our children are grown. Can't separate what they feel from what's really going on. It's a lot of shit that don't feel good, but it's necessary. It's a lot of stuff that it will make you feel some type of way, but the reality of it is it goes on and you're not in control of it. It's a lot of y'all, you don't realize this why you've done a lot of the bullshit you've done in your life. Women parental alienate, niggas abandon their kids, motherfuckers fight, make poor decisions, go to jail, end up making a temporary decision off of a long-lasting effect, right? Occurs off of a temporary decision based on emotions, off of a decision in the moment. You felt like, I'm just doing this for the moment. I'm telling you to get out. Y'all know how many people I counsel that they got upset in the moment, right? They thinking I'm making a decision for right now. Hey, you got to go right now. Get out. Get your shit and get out. They don't realize that thinking I'm making a temporary decision based on my feelings right now makes it where in the long run, certain shit is solidified. I tell women all the time, in a lot of relationships, when you cross that line with a man, where you get your shit and get out, right? You take yourself and you go from, oh, that's babe, we equal, we in a relationship, we building, to you then becoming the judge, the juror, the fucking God over everybody, and you get to control whether a person have a place to sleep that night or not, based on y'all living in the same space. Bro, that was temporary, right? You was mad, you want the man to get out for tonight or the next couple nights. And then now when you want him to come back, he don't want to come back. Or now when he come back, he behave way differently. He got one foot there and one foot somewhere else. You made a decision that you thought was temporary, not a big deal, but you made it based on emotions and it had a lasting effect. So Some of y'all, you did this with social media. That's why you don't like the internet now. You blame the internet for everything. A lot of y'all go around, it's the damn Facebook, it's Instagram, it ruined relationship. This shit don't do nothing to a relationship that you don't let it do. Not nothing. But a lot of y'all, you made a temporary decision, right? You believed it to be temporary and it had a lasting effect. You got into it with somebody, like I said earlier, and you ran to social media. You made it where your business is now a spectacle for even more people that knew about it than when it first happened. And you thinking this is just, oh, I'll make a post. It'll go up for about a week. I deleted it. I'm saying, what you mad for? Just leave the shit alone. It's over. Nah, it ain't over. It ain't over. It ain't over. This is what I'm saying. If you that person that's constantly offended when people just being they self, you one of these people I'm talking about. Right, Brittany, it was a temporary decision for you. Like, I was just mad, so I made the post because I was upset, right? But to the person that was involved in the incident with me, or to the person I posted about, it had a lasting effect on them. So for me, it was temporary. For them, it was lasting. And now I'm trying to figure out why the fuck they tripping. I'm saying, why you tripping? I done took the post down. And then you don't realize the beautiful thing about life is this is the way it works. People have the right to walk the fuck away even when you don't want them to. People have the right to not be okay with stuff even when you want them to be okay with it. Same for you. Subliminal or detailed. It's motherfuckers that done made a subliminal post, no address on it, but the person that it was about knew it was about them and they ain't fuck with them no more. And when you understand life, you realize that person has the right to be like that. Same way you had the right to post what you posted. When you understand this, you realize being self-aware and me having clarity on why I do the shit I do, why I act the way I act, why I talk the way I talk, why I believe the stuff I believe is important. This is why things like therapy are important. So that you can become more aware of you, your habitual behaviors, why you talk and think and act the way you act, why you attracted to what you attracted to, why you, behave the way you behave. This is all a part of adulting, knowing you, understanding the effect that you create. Some of y'all, you raising kids right now, you don't even realize the effect that you create with your children. The effect you have on your kids. You think one thing, the kids experiencing something different, and you was raised so fucked up that you don't even believe it's important for you to understand what they're experiencing with you. You feel like, just like your mama made you feel, that as long as I clothe you and feed you, I'm putting a roof over your head, you're all right. You'll be all right. Be grateful. Doing the best I can. That's all that matters. But people, psychological experience with you, meaning the effects that your behavior and your words and your ways have on their mind, is way more important than anything you ever bought. It's way more important than a theme park you ever took them to, or a movies, or a fucking concert. It's way more important than that. Grown people are affected by what was done to their mind, by what was done to them that they didn't understand in the physical, in the mental, in the spiritual, in the emotional. So when a motherfucker 25, 30, a bitch give two fucks about who was at the birthday party, or how much child support money my daddy gave you, or how many times you bought me a pair of Jordans. A motherfucker is left with what you did to their mind. I don't wear a size 3 no more. So the shoes you bought me back then that you spent your last on, appreciate it, but guess what? That has no lasting effect on me right now. The stuff that's fucking with me right now, the things that has me making the decisions I'm making, choosing the people I'm choosing, moving on the things I'm moving on, setting the boundaries I'm setting or not setting them, the thing that has me people pleasing, the stuff that has me in relationships manipulating or getting manipulated, is the shit that you expose to my mind. The stuff I experience mentally. It's grown people, fully grown in their build. Beautiful in the aesthetics. Male and female, fucked up in the mental. And so their life is a reflection of what's in here, not how they look. It's ugly people that's successful. And I'm talking about aesthetics. It's fat people, ugly people, old people, young people that have reached success in life. So regardless of what you look like, what your race, what your religion, your ethnicity, your color, your creed, regardless of any of that, what's going on in your mind determines how far you go in life. Rather you just surviving or rather you thriving, rather you building or rather you destroying. That shit is what's behind the eyes. That's it. That's all. This is why when you see people get fucked up in car accidents or they end up in a coma or brain dead, bruh, when the mind gone, they start talking about pulling the plug. It don't matter that the machine got your chest moving and ain't nothing wrong with your hands, your body ain't cut up or beat up, your brain just gone. This is why you lose oxygen too long to your brain and that motherfucker brain dead. Bro, you ain't even here. Over with. It's all about the mind. You can go get your ass done. You can go get you some abs. You can go to the gym and bulk up. You can change your diet. You can do all that. If you're not nurturing your mental health, your self-care of your psyche, your mental state, bro, you ain't shit. Exactly, a vegetable. A vegetable, Sims. Nothing. Nothing. I see a lot of y'all, and I've said this before. I love when people improve upon anything about themselves. But when you all about improvement of the outside and the inside is deteriorating, the inside is fucked up, the inside ain't being cared for, bro, you ain't shit. You ain't shit. It ain't because love saying it, it's a fact. And it might not feel good to hear me say this, but it's always facts over feelings. Y'all like, subscribe, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. This way Dorsey be live at. We on YouTube now. This way we taking over at. This way I'm spreading the game at. This way I'm spreading the word at. This way you gonna see me live at. Click that bell so you have notifications. Because when I go live, I'm going in every time. Every time.